2019 live, hosted by the Boston Roller Derby. We are excited to have you with us. I'm Scarlett O'Hara.
And I'm Scar Trek.
And we're looking forward to the first game of the day. We're going to see the Houston Roller Derby All-Stars taking on Naptown Roller Derby. Houston, of course, from Houston, Texas. Naptown coming to us from Indianapolis, Indiana. And why don't we run through some rosters real quick before we get this show on the road? Scar, you want to lead us off with Naptown?
Sure. Ranked number 28 right now in the WFTDA, skating for the Naptown Tornado Sirens. We've got 00 Roulette Wheels, number 07 Chariot of Fire, 123 Diamond, number 16 Crash Into You, number 237 Scorpiopathic, number 262 Langer, number 312 Emily Udell, number 5 True Debauchery, number 51 Micah, number 669 Teeth, number 7 Dora the Destroyer, number 76 Will Smith, 808 Boomsday, 84 Wham Bam, 856 Iggy Impalia, and 934 Black Eyed Sue.
And from Houston Roller Derby today, skating in the black, we have number 000 Black Lung Betty, number 19 Betty Watch It, 21 Jekyll and Heidi, 215 Pay Yo Dues, 221 Lulu Chop It, 266 Silver Pistol, 3 Pocket Rocket, 31 2 by Force, 43 Diamond Cutter, 44 Killstoy, number 5 Hallelujah, number 50 50 Shades of Ray, 51 Bustin' Beaver, 702 Emma Appropriate, 716 Ruby Ridicule, number 89 Arrakis, 898 Helen Killer, number 9 Engen, number 91 Slayer Moon, and 929 is Dropkick Betty. On the bench we have Snickerdoodle, Hip Check, and Dexter.
I want to say a special thanks this morning to our day one sponsor, the Derby Apex. The first day of Lobster Roll 2019 is brought to you by the Derby Apex. Training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, and so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. You can follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Bookmark thederbyapex.com to stay up to date with all the latest news from Derby Twitter and the Derby community.
And our New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath, that's S-E-W, Sociopath, is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. That is SEWCIOPATH.ca, Sociopath, for more details.
So a couple of notables about this game, Scarlett. We've got our two top-ranked teams kicking things off this morning. So Houston ranked number 28, Naptown ranked number 28, and Houston ranked number 32 coming into this tournament. It's also the first sanctioned game of the year for both of these two teams. Mm-hmm. So it should be an exciting matchup to see how the two top-ranked teams here can battle it out.
Absolutely, and I don't want to throw them under the bus too early on. Full disclosure, Houston is my home team, so I may show a little bit of bias, although I'm going to try and be neutral as much as possible. But I'm actually kind of curious because Houston, the only Southern team playing in the tournament today, didn't have the biggest time differential to overcome. That belongs to Sacramento on that one. But Houston didn't get into the hotel last night until after 2:30. So it has been a rocky start, but we're excited to be here in Boston. We have a couple skaters who are seeing snow for the first time up here in Boston. I heard Dropkick Betty and Hallelujah were very excited to see that when they arrived at the airport last night. So we'll see how that influences things over here. This is a slightly shaken up roster for Houston, and they, of course, turned down their bid to postseason play. But they have been practicing very hard in the off-season, and we're looking forward to some action. I've also been told that Naptown has the best socks here this weekend by our lovely producer. Apparently there's skulls on there that are aligned with the rest of their uniform. And we have the Battle of the Diamonds out on the track.
Yes.
As we noted earlier, Diamond Cutter from Houston and Just Diamond from Naptown.
Yeah, it's good to cause as much confusion as possible for the announcers. That's the way we like it.
Double diamonds, double scars. There you go.
So a little bit about Naptown's season last year. They played 10 sanctioned games, 10 games, 8 sanctioned it looks like. They took 8 wins on the season, so a really good year last year for the Naptown Tornado Sirens. They won twice last year over Team United. They also had wins over Royal City, Blue Ridge, Garden State, Columbia. Their 2 losses last year were to Dallas and Madison, so really high-ranked competitive teams there. So looks like they're coming into 2019 looking pretty good.
For sure, and Naptown's one of the teams that we saw some movement on in the latest WFTDA rankings. They actually moved up a couple of slots to push Houston down. Houston, one of the teams that has stayed steady among the others in the tournament at their ranking haven't really moved. So staying steady, but all of the teams here today are very closely ranked. So it's going to be really awesome action, or wicked awesome, I guess I should say, since we're in Boston. I apologize to all New Englanders for my terrible impression of a New England accent. But we're waiting for things to get all sorted. Our scoreboard is up, and we would love to say hi to everybody that's watching us on Twitch, all of our new folks that maybe you're just seeing Derby for the first time. Good morning.
Welcome, welcome. It's a crazy sport.
It is crazy, but it's so much fun. And we hope everybody out there in the Twitch community likes it. And don't forget, we are checking, we have someone that's on Twitch checking all of the chat throughout the game, but we also have our Twitter stream that we'll be looking at here and there. We've been told to use the hashtag Boston Derby is going to be your most simple version. And then the one for the tournament specifically is hashtag BRD Lobstah, Lobstah, roll. And that's the one that you're going to run with for the tournament. I've just been saying lobster roll, but I was told use BRD in front of it to clarify, in case there's any confusion on the lobsters.
Let's keep our hashtags in line.
Have you had any lobster since you've been here?
No, I'm a vegetarian.
Oh, boo!
I had Indian food last night. It was great.
Ooh, I bet that was yummy. I wonder what the vegetarian equivalent of a lobster roll is.
Yeah, I don't know.
We'll have to find that out just for Scar Trek. So if you know, tell us on Twitter. All our New Englanders, what is the vegetarian equivalent of a lobster roll?
I'd really like to know that.
We need to keep Scar Trek well fed whilst here.
Please do. Let's talk a little bit about Houston's season last year. That's always fun to think about how they're coming into 2019. It looks like they played 9 games. They took 2 wins last year over Oklahoma Victory Dolls. They also took 3 wins over No Coast, Happy Valley, and Twin City. Looks like they took 4 losses last year, 2 to Rocky Mountain, 1 to Sailor City, and 1 to Sacramento. But one thing I noticed about their losses is they had pretty close scores. Those were close competitive games in almost every case. It looks like one time they fell pretty hard to Rocky Mountain. It looks like that was back in Clover Cup last year. But a really competitive season last year for Houston.
Yeah, and they've had some shuffling as well on the roster, but a lot of these players are coming in with a wealth of experience and knowledge. A couple new additions to the roster, including Pocket Rocket, who comes to us by way of Boston, joined Houston last year and quickly jumped onto the All-Star roster because of just great talent coming in from such a great league as well. Pocket Rocket's actually a rocket scientist, works at NASA, so that's why she moved on down to where the rockets are controlled down in Houston. I'm curious to see what their blocking rotations are going to be like. Houston has some players with some height on them, which has always, whenever they get a certain pack out there that is like Peyo Dews, Black Lung Betty, Killstoy, that is a pack that intimidates me, and I'm not even skating.
You're not even out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed their captain, 2x4s, was definitely the most highly played blocker in terms of number of jams last year as we looked at the sports information book that was prepared for this tournament. Tons of play time out there. However, the most penalties, that would be going to Betty Watchett. So a lot of play time, a lot of penalties.
So that's the downside. So Watchett is one of those players that is very aggressive in her blocking and is very agile and is tenacious. So you'll see her often chasing the jammer or things like that. So it's a lot of out of play or things like that are
difference-making penalties.
When you're just too excited and you just can't reel it back sometimes. But what about Naptown? What do we need to look at on their side in terms of standout players?
Well, it looks like the top most played blockers for Naptown are going to be Wham Bam, the captain, Micah, and Teeth. And then it's also Micah, the captain, who holds the dubious honor of most penalties in last year's season.
Honor.
Yeah.
Honor.
Now, the interesting thing I noted from looking at the stats for these two teams was that the jammer rotation for Houston is definitely a lot bigger. Lots more people taking the start on that team. Naptown really limits their jammer rotation to really 2, but with a third and then a kind of a fourth trailing behind that, whereas Houston seems to run with 4 pretty solidly and then have some extra jammers into the rotation after that.
Yeah, for the most part, you're going to see Slayer Moon, who is by far and away, and she's sitting right in front of me. I'm pretty sure she just heard me, so she perked up. she's obviously Houston's top point scorer, has played in the most jams out of any jammer in the last year.
810 points. That's crazy. And 9 points per jam. That's incredible.
She is a stellar jammer. She's also kind of on the smaller side, so she's one of those, and she's very Gumby-esque and able to bend around people. Former dancer, has some great agility, strong ankles, able to dodge around some blockers, and that's where you see those points really racking up. And lower on the rotation for the jammers is Hallelujah, who's actually her younger sister. They're now playing their second or third year together, I can't remember, on All Stars. And Holly, you can see some similarities in how they jam, but Slayer's obviously been doing it a bit longer, so it's a bit more refined. But Holly usually serves as a kind of a relief jammer, and then Bustin' Beaver is also in that rotation, but she typically accepts star passes as a pivot. So she's not typically one they'll put on the line unless Beaver's just feeling like she's got fire in those skates. But Diamond Cutter is another one you really need to watch. She is hard to, I say you really need to watch, but she's hard to miss. Yeah. She has really sparkly pads, including shin guards, so she is sparkly from head to toe. I don't think I've ever seen her without some form of glitter on.
Oh, elbow pads too, I see.
Elbow pads, wrist guards, knee pads, shin pads.
I love it.
And wears this really amazing sparkly lipstick that I don't know how she gets it to stay put. I'm envious. But yeah, so Diamond Cutter, another one. Great skill. Arrakis for a while actually held one of the records with the WFTDA for the highest scoring individual jam in sanctioned play. So I think it has since been passed just ever so slightly. And now that we don't have that jammer lap point, it's going to be even harder to pass some of those, lap point era jams. Point totals anyway.
In Jen, another notable jammer for Houston, almost 500 points last season, 8 points per jam, and closing in on 60% lead jammers. So that's some amazing stats. Over on the Naptown side, we've got Will Smith with a total of 623 points from last season. Ooh. Incredible scoring, 5 points per jam and 64% lead jammer. The other two jammers heavily used for Naptown, Scorpiopathic at 530 points and Diamond at 242 points. So, of course, they have some folks who were in a relief jammer capacity last year, including Dora the Destroyer. But those are the 3 most heavily used jammers for the Tornado Sirens.
So it warrants noting, too, that, the rosters that we read off were their complete rosters for everything that's been submitted up till now. That does not necessarily reflect who all is going to be on the track right now. I know for a fact we don't have 50 Shades of Ray on the Houston side. She suffered an ankle injury a few weeks back at a home thing, so she has not traveled with us today, but we wish her well and hope she recovers quickly. And then Naptown, we don't have official game rosters in front of us right this second, but I'm sure that some of those players will be kind of hanging back on this first game here.
Yeah, exactly. So people are still kind of just skating around, getting loose. I think there was some scoreboard setup that was happening for a while.
Yeah, but hey, so I don't know if anybody can see this on the stream, but if you look really far off into the distance, there's a stage. So we're at this wonderful Shriners Auditorium, and it really is a great venue.
It's a little strange, but cool. I mean,
I'm down for this because when Houston was founded back in 2005, 2006-ish, we played our very first season at the Arabia Shrine. So I have a special place in my heart for Derby and Shrine locations. But if you look off into the distance on the stream, you can see the stage, which has lots of stripes and the Shriners emblem up on the top. There's a camel on that stage, which I've been told is a thing. Like, we need to come up with a name for the camel for each day. So if you've got spiffy camel names, throw them at us. Give us something to chat about.
Yeah.
So I'm looking at the Twitch stream right now to see who's on. I see Lightning Slim telling us he's going on a breakfast beer run. Hats off, mate, up in Canada. You do you. And then we've got, of course, our lovely moderators here posting more information about how Derby works if you're curious. And people cheering for Beaver. Got people cheering for Scorpio, who is apparently OG, according to
Oh, cool.
Lightning Slim in the chat room. Scorpio very much at it. And Will Smith apparently used to skate under the name Made in America.
Oh, good to know.
Oh,
Okay.
so here's a close-up on the camel. Thank you to our production crew. Mark Hamill, the camel, is the first suggestion of the day. I heard at some previous tournament.
It was something hump related.
It was Engelbert Humperdinck.
Okay, right.
Which Eddie Izzard has a great little bit about in one of his stand-up specials. So Mark Hamill, the camel, our first nominated name thus far. I'm going to have to check on Twitter here in a minute and just see if there's any suggestions there. Thanks for waking up nice and early with us, gang.
Good morning.
We know it's 9 o'clock on the East Coast, but that means back in Houston it's 8. And on the mountain side it's 7. On the West Coast it's, 6 a.m.?
Yikes. Good morning.
Good morning, Sacramento fans.
Yeah, so many great matchups this weekend. We got 5 games today, I think. Coming up after this one, we've got Boston, Sacramento. I think everyone plays twice today, too.
They
which
do.
Is,
both days.
Both days, everyone playing twice. It's kind of like a round-robin type setup. There's no bracket at play here.
But that's nice, though. Who I was talking to, I think my husband, and he said, oh, you're going to call one of these. I was like, oh, no, it's not the gold medal game. It's just everybody needs to get those games in, and they're playing. I'm super excited about this tournament because people are so closely ranked, and everybody gets a shot to play everybody. And keeping the field nice and small enables that possibility. You don't have a ton of downtime. Just do the derby.
Yeah, and I do love this area of the rankings. It's very close and competitive, and changes in player lineups on these teams can really make a difference, especially right here at the beginning of the season. Oh, no, what's going on in chat here?
I'm cracking up at Party on Barth, who suggested Slinglebert slapped you back, because that is also an Eddie Izzard reference. Thank you. And Apex Hump has come up as a suggestion by Dreadhawk54. And yeah, we're still looking for those names. That's going to be a thing for the rest. We've officially moved Hump Day to today as opposed to Wednesday. So
hashtag camels of WFTDA.
I'm looking forward to our games later this evening because I've been told that a lot of the Boston pets of Derby will be dressed as lobsters, and I love me an animal costume, so I'm looking forward to lots of puppies. But anyway, so I totally cut you off when you were going through the rest of our games today. I'm sorry. I was
that's
too excited.
There was a lot of stuff happening on the chat.
So next we've got Boston and Sacramento, ideally at 12 o'clock, depending on when we get this first game off and running.
One
and then
day.
what?
After that, Houston's going to be back on the track at 2 p.m. versus Dublin. So that's number 32 versus number 38. Should be a close and competitive game. Then once we get to 4 o'clock, the doors open to the public here at Shriners Auditorium. And at 5, we've got Naptown versus Sacramento. So that's top seed versus kind of lowest ranked team coming into the tournament, 28 versus 42. And then the final game of the day, I think the one that everyone's really, really looking forward to, Boston, number 35, taking on Dublin, number 38.
I'm super excited about that one, and we've been told that this is actually going to be in front of a sell-out crowd. People in Boston is the week before St. Patrick's Day, bringing over the team from Dublin. What is not to love in a team that has a lot of Irish history as well? Yeah, I'm not going to say that one. If you want to see some of the other names that are being thrown around in the chat room, check out our Twitch stream. We are excited to come to you live on WFTDA.tv via the Twitch stream. We are honored to be the first non-playoff Twitch stream tournament on the WFTDA channel, so we hope everyone is supportive and is enjoying it as much as we are. Waiting for a few last-minute things on the track to come together. And for those of you that are interested in subscribing or want to see the stream, you can check out www.twitch.tv/WFTDA, and that's where we will be live all weekend long. So check us out on your web browsers, on your PlayStations. I know that's where I usually watch my Twitch stream, is on my PlayStation, but...
Yeah, and we got to give a special shout-out this morning to our broadcast production crew. It's no easy gig. We got New England Roller Derby report making the live stream happen. Multiple cameras. Do we have slow-mo today? We're going to have some replays? Yeah, I think so. Replays coming at you once the game starts. Thank you so much to Chad and Lady Lana for bringing the broadcast to us.
So the holdup we're waiting on is apparently paperwork. All of you out there in the Derbyverse know especially our lovely NSOs who we could not play this sport without, how incredibly important that paperwork is, especially when it comes to sanctioned play. So want to make sure all of our ducks are in a row and make sure that
Paperwork.
Got to get TPS reports done and make sure the appropriate cover sheet is on and, you know, all that jazz. Super fun stuff. But, yeah, we wouldn't be here without our lovely sponsors, including the Derby Apex, our first day of Lobster World 2019, brought to you by the Derby Apex. Training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, and so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and bookmark thederbyapex.com to stay up to date with the latest news from hashtag Derby Twitter and the Derby community. Speaking of which, I think I'm going to get on hashtag Derby Twitter here in a moment.
Yeah, big thanks also to Bruised Boutique, the world's largest derby store made for Derby by Derby. You can visit them online at bruisedboutique.com.
And we officially have game rosters. And we're going to say hi to our officials. You want to read off our officials for us?
Yeah, it looks like skating officials? I'm not sure. Let me read them off and we'll see. Chemical Restraint, Constance Killjoy, Gorier Estefan, Chemical Restraint again, Drop Dead Gorgon, Bird Hurt, Torquemama, the Kraken, Le Corbusier, and Slammerous.
And I think our NSOs are Dread Hochuli, Bibbidi Bobbidi Boom, Shanksy, try that one again, Shanksy, Admiral Mayhem, Molotov Latte, Shebra, Shref, and Duraqueer. And you hear, I don't know if you can hear us in the background, but it looks like we are finally ready
Derby.
to start Derby.
We're excited about it. Looks like we've got number 5 taking the star for Houston to start us off. That's Hallelujah.
I like to do the emphatically Southern Hallelujah whenever she just has a joke, kind of, when she jams. I think I just made Pocket Rocket laugh.
Houston, of course, in the black jerseys this morning. Naptown in white, and that's number 76, Will Smith, formerly known as Miss America.
So Will Smith is one that we will likely see a lot of today.
Made in America. I said Missile America, sorry.
And Hallelujah gets lead first for Houston.
Will Smith out for the initial pass as well. Ooh, a nice draw back there by a Naptown blocker. Got the jam called off with 0 points.
Hey, good defense is about as good as good offense if you need to. So
yeah, that was number 84, Wham Bam, with the knockout and drag back there that put an end to that first jam of the game.
So out next on the line, we have Slayer Moon, Hallelujah's older sister, who is Houston's top point scorer, going up against number 37 for Naptown. The 237, excuse me. Scorpio Pathic, who is an OG derby skater.
It's pretty impressive at this point. It's a lot of years.
Slayer gets shoved to the outside as Scorpio gets through on the inside, grabs lead jammer status. So Scorpio in control of that clock.
Yeah, Slayer Moon still stuck in the pack here as Scorpio Path coming around on a scoring pass.
And with a star stash, Slayer gets through that pack and now eligible to score points. But 2x4 send Jekyll and Heidi anchoring that Houston defense right at the apex of turn 1 and 2. And it gets called after 1 point.
So first point of the game going up for Naptown Tornado Sirens. If you're just joining us, Naptown in white, Houston in black. This is our first game of Lobster Roll 2019. My name is Scar Trek, joined by Scarlett O'Hurcha, and we're excited to bring such a great weekend of roller derby action to the WFTDA.twitch.tv/Twitch channel. Looks like Diamond with the star for Naptown. And is that Diamond for Houston?
Oh, we have a double Diamond face-off.
Love it.
With Diamond from Naptown, number 123, facing off against the oh-so-sparkly Diamond Cutter from Houston. Diamond Cutter forced out of bounds and has to recycle back behind number 856, Iggy Impalia.
All right, Naptown's Diamond pushing at the front, makes it out for lead jammer status for Naptown.
And looks like Diamond cut her out of the pack as well, now eligible to score points. The penalty box is still empty. Of course, now that I've said something, someone will inevitably go.
Diamond takes a knock out of bounds, calls off the jam to prevent Diamond Cutter from scoring any points. Looks like 1 point for Naptown.
So slow steady, get those points one by one. That's how you win the race. And with teams that are as closely ranked as these two are, you definitely need you take your time and just get each one of those points as you're able to. Shutting it down, super short jams. We are not even at minute 27 just yet. We have 27 minutes left. We're heading into jam number 4. And we have Lulu Choppet donning the star for Houston.
Taking on Will Smith.
Will Smith again, second time we've seen them out on the track.
Looks like Lulu's grabbed lead jammer status for Houston. And Will Smith out as well on the initial pass.
Lulu, one of those that is a new addition to the Houston All-Star roster. So curious to see how she does. Gets Houston's first point on the board.
1 point at a time this game so far. Slow, easy start to the tournament.
Yeah, it's keeping that control, especially at this level of derby that is so incredibly critical to success. It's when you allow for those runaway, huge scoring jams that things just start to fall apart. So very nice job controlling that pack and controlling the point spread by both teams. So who we have jamming now?
We got Scorpiopathic for Naptown. Looks like taking on number 3, Pocket Rocket for Houston.
Pocket Rocket, also a new addition here to Houston's jammer rotation. Makes it through and grabs lead jammer status, so that's 2 in a row for Houston.
Scorpiopathic looks like 2 in the front to beat right now. Nice double defense there in the front from Houston.
That is Payo Dews and Bustin' Beaver on that double team, holding back Will. Oh, Scorpio, excuse me, I called the wrong person. And we have our first visit to the penalty box. That is Arrakis for Houston as the pivot. Pocket Rocket gets through that pack, calls it off after 4 points. Biggest scoring jam so far with 4 points, 1 for Naptown. So,
yeah, and it is interesting to note that Arrakis has been out as pivot several times in the game so far. Kind of a standout jammer for Houston in the past, but looks like taking on the pivot role this year.
Yeah, so Arrakis is one of those utility players that can really truly do everything. She can block, she can jam, and so pivot is actually a really great role for her because she can be that relief jammer if it's needed, but still be a force out on the track. Speaking of which, we have Hallelujah jamming for Houston going up against Diamond from Naptown.
Diamond with a cut. So power jam now for the Houston All-Stars. Hallelujah through with lead jammer status.
That is our first jammer penalty of the game. So Hallelujah all by the lonesome, but Naptown does have a pack advantage here for 3. Holly gets shoved out of bounds. Beautiful hit there by number 856, Iggy Impalia.
Yeah, nice. She was kind of isolated in the back and still managed to send Hallelujah.
And so here's what I'm talking about. Arrakis coming in like a wrecking ball, just pushing out that entire Naptown defense.
Yeah, great offensive move there from Arrakis.
And Holly doing that duck, and you'll see both she and her sister Slayer kind of do that move where they wrap around the opposing blocker to C cut on that outside lane. So 4 points.
Diamond is back in from the penalty box, star in hand right now, pushing in a back tripod of Houston's defense.
And I'm pretty sure we're going to have a pass. We see the pivot slowly trying to inch toward that Diamond right there, and we have another full point pass. 4 points for Hallelujah on that jam, and the star has officially been passed to the pivot from Naptown. That is, believes Will Smith.
Yeah, Houston loses a blocker to the box. That's number 44, Kilstoy.
Kilstoy is an incredibly powerful blocker. And I misspoke. Okay, so I guess the star pass was not fully executed because Diamond now has the helmet cover right back in her hand.
Meeting up with Arrakis in the pack, but makes it through. Looks like successful star pass now for Naptown. That's Crash Into You taking the star.
I was looking at the wrong number.
That jam seemed to just slow to a total grind and stop over there in corner 1, but it was a nice pickup for Houston. 12 points on the jam and holding Naptown scoreless.
That had to have been the longest jam we've had so far. That one of the few that, I mean, definitely the first one we've had that went into double digits. So maybe we're just trying to wake up a little bit here. It is nice and early here. For those of you that are just joining us, thanks for joining us. We are at Lobster Roll 2019. I'm Scarlett O'Hurtia, joined by Scar Trek. And out next on the jam lane, who do we have?
Looks like number 91 for Houston, Slayer Moon, taking on Will Smith for Naptown Tornado Sirens. Naptown in white, Houston in black. And it's Will Smith, lead jammer status for the Tornado Sirens. Hoping to answer back that big jam from Houston we just saw.
Yeah, Hallelujah with a 12-point jam on that last one, separating the widening that point spread, I should say. Looks like Naptown running a 3-jammer rotation, whereas Houston currently running a 5-jammer rotation.
Yeah, and that's something we saw from the stats, even looking at last year's.
We have a
stash.
Yeah, there you go. Bustin' Beaver anchoring the defense in the front, holding up Will Smith. Will Smith manages to get 4 on the board. Nicely done by the team in white.
Yeah, taken out of bounds, but I guess knew she already had the points, so she perfectly willing to call that off with the 4 points for Naptown. So 17-7 now, the score, as we head into jam number 8. Looks like Diamond Cutter for Houston. Taken on number 237, Scorpiopathic for Naptown.
Full complement of blockers for both teams. Both jammers try to go to the outside lane, get stopped by a wall of opposing blockers, tripods in place on that line. Naptown trying a slightly different rotation with their blockers. Houston sticking to that tripod with Jekyll and Heidi floating as that offensive assist.
We're barely past the pivot line. Oh, wow.
Diamond Cutter taking out a blocker.
Lead jammer status is the reward for that move. Scorpiopathic not too far behind, I guess about a half track now, and it looks like a cutting the track. So a little bit of fancy footwork there, but didn't quite keep it in bounds. Diamond Cutter, though, around the outside with a quick move, 4 points, calls off the jam for Houston, widening their lead. Scarlett.
Look at that smile on Diamond Cutter's face, and she wears that white mouth guard, so it makes it look like even brighter and
like
wider.
Miss America over there.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Shiny, sparkly. We need to. I'm waiting for a jammer to have like a white mouth guard with like rhinestones on it.
Yes.
Like a grill, mouth guard grill.
Mouth guard grill.
Although I feel like that might be a choking hazard. But anyway, out on a power jam now.
Yep.
Slayer Moon because.
Ooh, big hit there in the back from Naptown. Looks like Naptown pretty serious about the defense this morning on this power start. Slayer Moon taken some falls already before the pivot line.
Black Lung Betty being sent to the penalty box. I didn't see what the call was for, but that means Houston at a 4-3 pack disadvantage as Naptown now sending a blocker as well. And Slayer Moon out of the pack, your lead jammer for Houston.
Yeah, and that's right as Scorpiopathic is released from the penalty box, coming in for the initial pass for Naptown right now.
Wham Bam now occupying that space in the penalty box for Naptown. Scorpiopathic now makes that initial pass. Slayer Moon still out and scoring some points. Looks a little winded on that last pass. Naptown series defense. Pack getting very spread out.
Yeah.
Arrakis, beautiful takeout there. But we have a direction of gameplay called on Arrakis. That's her second penalty.
Yeah. So the Houston bench coach was calling for the call-off kind of midway through the pack there, but 2 more points picked up by Houston before the call-off, and it looks like 4 points stolen by Naptown.
So that's where that pack awareness, that clock awareness really comes into play. And early on in the game, we saw both of these teams being very conservative with their call-offs, just quickly get those points called off.
One point.
But now I don't know if they're starting to loosen up. Diamond is certainly starting to loosen up, giving us a little bit of a dance on the line. Facing off against Lulu Choppet for Houston. Score is 27-11.
One blocker started in the box for both teams. Number 84 from Naptown back on the track. That's Wham Bam.
Diamond getting very physical, heading through that pack with an offensive assist by Wham Bam, trying to split up that Houston tripod. And we have a forced recycle there by number 262, Langer.
Yeah, Naptown with some tough defense up at the front of the pack, holding back Lulu Choppet. Kind of a total grind here at the pivot line.
They have not moved past turn 1. Traffic jam is right. We just heard Crimson Alchema on the house call it that. I think that's accurate. Diamond now being sent to the infield there by Kilstoy as Lulu Choppet forced to recycle in the straightaway. We are now 30 seconds into this jam, and we haven't moved past the pivot line.
Right, we're stuck in corner 1. But it's a testament to the defensive formations on both of these teams. Really closing to the lines, knocking jammers down and out.
And pivots now.
Yep.
Oh, Lulu taking a hard hit there at the apex, being followed up by those Naptown blockers. And looks like Diamond just barely got out, but Kilstoy recycles. Nice hit. So Diamond is your lead jammer.
Both jammers knocked out of bounds. It looks like Lulu Choppet, I did not see the call. No, there was no call.
There was no call. There was some confusion. Confusion. All the whistles. So 0 points for either team.
Ooh, that was a lot of work for 0 points.
That was a lot of work. Scar, we are 17 minutes through this game already. And for something that started off so kind of slow and controlled and this and that, my goodness, how the tables have turned.
Well, yeah, it stayed slow, that's for sure. But definitely some points have gone up so far. 27-11 our score in favor of Houston Roller Derby. Now, of course, Houston ranked below Naptown in this game coming in. So already looking at a little bit of an upset on the scoreboard at this point in the game.
But ever so slightly. See, we mentioned upset, and then here we have, a cutting the track penalty by Naptown and a multiplayer block penalty on Teeth. So not only a power jam, but also a deficit on the blocking side as Houston trying to widen that point spread with Pocket Rocket donning the star.
Yeah, power jam now for the Houston All-Stars, fighting at the front against number 07, that's Chariot of Fire.
Beautiful work there by Chariot of Fire, just on Pocket Rocket like white on rice. And forced to recycle all the way back to turn 2. They were kind of in the straightaway. Very braided, blended pack. Pocket Rocket now being shoved out by Mika, the captain for Naptown. And Pocket Rocket grabs lead jammer.
Yeah, right at the same time as the Naptown jammer coming back onto the track.
That is Roulette Wheels. First time I believe we've seen her jam.
So 4 points for Houston with that pass for Pocket Rocket.
And we're playing Leapfrog in turn 3.
Tons of people hitting the floor over in corner 3.
Nice offensive assist right there in turn 3 with Naptown clearing some space on lane 4 in order for their jammer to get through. Beautiful teamwork there. Bench coaches yelling, call it, call it, call it, as Roulette Wheels approach the pack. Pocket Rocket does call it and grabs 3 more points and shutting Naptown down on that one. 34-11, Houston in the lead, 15.5 minutes left in the first half.
Yeah, definitely an exciting game so far. Even though it has been really slow and controlled, there's been a lot of big hits, which is fun to see.
That is the first jam for Naptown where they have been held to 0. Right. When the other team scored, because we had that one earlier where both teams didn't score. Who is taking on score?
Looks like we've got
now.
Will Smith. We got Will Smith for Naptown taking on Hallelujah for Houston. Will Smith pushing at the front. Houston's got a 4-wall set up there.
I'm seeing a pretty solid tripod by Naptown. Really nicely done, moving from a tripod to a 3-wall very seamlessly, shoving Hallelujah out of bounds in that straightaway, being anchored by the pivot number 16. Crash into you.
And it looks like Will Smith, lead jammer for Naptown Tornado Sirens. The pack is picking up speed now as Hallelujah has also made it out on the initial pass.
And Naptown losing 1 to the penalty box. That is Emily Udell. And Will Smith is at 50% lead jammer status, 2 for 4.
2 points go up for Will Smith. 3, thank you.
Making 3.
3 points for Naptown on that one, holding Houston scoreless.
That's how they need to come back. It's just those quick, get your points, doesn't matter how many it is, as long as you hold the other team to 0, that's how you chip away at that point spread. These are 2 very familiar faces that we see out on the jam line. We've got
sparkly faces.
Sparkly faces, sparkly elbows, sparkly shins, sparkly knees. That would be the one and only Diamond Cutter facing off against Scorpio Path, who tries to vault off of Dropkick Betty in the right behind the jam line there. That was very interesting.
It was, yeah. Diamond Cutter got a knot to the inside and had to recycle. That made the opening available there for Scorpiopathic to grab lead jammer status for the Tornado Sirens.
Scorpiopathic out all by herself. Now hitting that pack.
Yeah, Diamond's still in the pack. It looks like we've had a star pass for Houston. Arrakis with the star in hand, making it around the inside line. 1 to beat at the front. She does make it by. Successful star pass there for the Houston All-Stars as Scorpiopathic is in the pack and picking up points. Decides to call the jam with 3 for the Naptown Tornado Sirens.
So that's a good example of when I say Arrakis is one of those utility players. Really, really strong blocker, but also a stellar jammer. Has some sick endurance. And you can see right there that fancy footwork. Her skating posture is a little bit different than most skaters. She stands really upright. But it seems to work for her.
Yeah.
And even when she's doing the fancy toe stop work in order to get around the opposing blockers like she did just there, still seems to work in her favor. Out next on the jam line, who we got?
We got Diamond for the Tornado Sirens versus Lulu Choppet for Houston. Houston in black, Naptown in white.
Jacqueline Heidi with the jammer takeout and a forced recycle there. Beautiful hit on Diamond. Diamond holding her own though. 2x4 is now tag teaming with Engine and Killstoy as Lulu trying to break through in the front.
Yeah, Diamond's pushing at that back wall, not really able to make too much progress up into the pack so far. Lulu Chop It pushing at the front wall. Both teams just locking the defense down. Over there in between corner 1 and 2. 1 to the box for Naptown.
That is 262 Langer. And we are already a little over 30 seconds through this jam.
Yeah.
Again, locking it down on the defense. Both teams beautifully done.
Naptown,
Look at that sandwich right there in the front by Naptown.
Naptown's defense is just so aggressive, especially first thing in this morning. It's good to see that very kind of bodies on style of defense.
They had their Wheaties.
Yeah, they did.
Or coffee, whatever.
So
Fluffy.
through the pack for 4 points. That's Lulu Chop It for Houston.
Lulu, your lead jammer. We didn't call that because it just happened. Looks like we have, again, very physical. Those blockers not relenting, even when there's no jammer engaged in the pack at that time.
So Naptown with defense in the front as Lulu Chop It comes back in for another scoring pass. And a successful star pass for Naptown. That's number 16, Crash Into You. Yeah, a couple of star passes to Crash so far in the game this morning.
Yeah, my money's on if Crash or Arrakis hit the track, then there's an opportunity there for star passage.
Yeah, so a nice pickup for Houston there, 8-0 on the jam, bringing them up to 42. Naptown sitting at 17 points, just under 11 minutes left to play in the first period.
And here's where we see, everyone is really starting to wake up, and they're kind of getting their feet underneath them, getting a feel for how the other team plays, and that really can make a difference in the play. Pocket racket out on the floor for Houston.
Taking on Will Smith for Naptown.
Will Smith punching that clock today, man.
Yeah, nice move up the inside line.
Beautiful.
Just a step around the defense. Lead jammer status going to Naptown.
Beautifully done there by Will Smith. Full complement to blockers for both teams. Very spread out pack, but still managing to lock it down into solid defensive formations. Naptown sending in an offensive assist, whereas Houston is leaving Pocket Rocket to fend for herself.
Nice long drawback there by number 51, Micah, the captain for Naptown.
And Wham Bam heads to the penalty box, so 4-3 pack advantage for Houston. And Pocket Rocket taking advantage of the chaos, gets out of the pack, but is not lead jammer. So jammer in the lead, not the lead jammer. That honor belongs to
Will Smith.
Will Smith.
Yeah, wait until the last possible second to call that thing off. One blocker in the box, of course, for Naptown, and it looks like another one on the way. So big pack advantage to start out the next jam for Houston. But on that last jam, 4-0 in favor of Naptown Tornado Sirens.
Yeah, that whole 4-2 pack advantage didn't seem to phase them at all, or pack disadvantage. And we have our first timeout of the game so far. So we have a team timeout being taken by Naptown to regroup. Score is currently 42-21, exactly halfway. We've got 9 minutes left in the first half, and we would love to thank our lovely sponsors, including the Evolved Health, Chiropractic, and Sports Medicine. If you're experiencing pain, discomfort, or just want to feel and move better, Evolved Health, Chiropractic, and Sports Medicine can help using a unique combination of muscle and joint manipulation, physiotherapy, and customized therapeutic exercise. We aim to get you better faster. Visit their website for more information at evolvedhealthchiropractic.com.
Yeah, and if you're new to roller derby joining us on the Twitch stream this morning, you can find out everything you need to know about the game and how it's played, all those rules and those penalties we're all talking about at WFTDA.com. You can also follow the WFTDA's social media, Twitter at WFTDA, and Instagram, the same thing. For Facebook, it's .com/WFTDA.
And we've got a couple of questions coming through in the Twitch chat. Where's Naptown from? Naptown, of course, coming to us from Indianapolis, Indiana. They're named the Tornado Sirens. And skating in white today, the Houston Roller Derby, of course, from Houston, Texas. Skating in the black with pink accents. And some fish saying early morning games are rough. Yes, they are, all around. But these players don't seem to mind. Out first, your lead jammer for Houston, that is Slayer Moon.
Yeah, taking on Scorpiopathic, who's stuck behind the defensive wall in the back from Houston. Slayer Moon already back in for points now. Scorpiopathic still on the initial pass with 4 points going up for Houston All-Stars. Naptown blockers coming in from the penalty box right now. Scorpiopathic already has the star in hand, and it looks like a Star pass in progress out there as Slayer Moon already 8 points on this jam.
Woo. So now you see why she's got that 810 points for the season last year.
Yeah, really strong jammer for the Houston All-Stars.
Well, when you get Slayer on a power jam, that's a problem.
Yeah. Scorpiopathic did make it out to put the pressure on this call-off with the star in hand for Naptown.
And I got Scorpiopathic is very graceful. And the way that she manages to get through that pack it looks very effortless. But obviously that effort not working in her favor this go around as Scorpiopathic now in the penalty box. So this will be a power jam start for Arrakis.
Yeah,
from
starting with the
Houston.
star. Kind of a very, very experienced jammer for the Houston All-Stars, but has been playing pivot so far in the game. Now with the power start on the power jam, Arrakis picking up lead jammer status for Houston.
Redefining power on that one, I think. And you'll notice Arrakis has a new mouth guard that she's using that allows for more airflow, because apparently she forgets to breathe while she's jamming, is what she told me. But if you ask her to talk while she's wearing it, it's hilarious.
Arrakis takes a knock to the inside. Going to have a long recycle there behind Naptown's defense.
That being anchored by Mika. Is it Mika or Micah?
Micah.
Micah. Okay, my bad.
Micah, the captain for Naptown Tornado Sirens. Scorpiopathic back in from the box now, working on the initial pass.
That is the first scoring pass right there for Arrakis. Very hard fought. Nice defense work there by Naptown. Clear penalty box.
Ooh, and it looks like
there is
direction of gameplay, sending a Houston blocker to the penalty box as Arrakis picks up another 4 points for Houston.
It's pay your dues, but Scorpiopathic now out of the pack and eligible to score points. Curious to see where the strategy goes on this one.
Yeah, both jammers approaching the pack at the same time. Naptown's defense set up in the back. Houston set up in the front. Big hit, wow.
Black Betty on that jammer takeout in turn 3. Very split defense. Bustin' Beaver with the jammer takeout to the infield, forcing it recycle back to turn 2. Arrakis shoved to the infield now by Chariotifier. Can't talk today.
So Arrakis stuck on all 4 defensive players for Naptown.
They haven't moved.
Yeah, I'm telling you, both of the teams have some really locked down defense this morning right out of the gate.
Yes.
And I mean, it's a relatively low-scoring game.
2-all on that last pass. So Arrakis comes out in front on that last jam, but that was because she had an entire pass all by her lonesome, unopposed in terms of scoring. So Houston 10, Naptown 2, 64-23. 6 minutes left in the first half.
And a nice kill on that power start with just, I mean, an 8-point pickup
very
for
nice.
Houston. Could certainly have been worse, let's put it that way. Out with the star, Will Smith for Naptown. Taken on...
Looks like that is Hallelujah.
Okay. Both jammers out at the same time.
We affectionately occasionally call Hallelujah Hallelujah because she's already really short, but then she gets
really low. Yeah, she likes to duck around the defense.
Duck around the defense. I like that.
So Will Smith into the pack. Takes a bump to the inside line and immediately calls off the jam. Looks like it's going to be 4 points.
Nicely done by Will Smith. That is some veteran pack awareness right there. Knew exactly whose hips she passed and calls it off.
Yeah, both jammers made it out of the pack at the same time, so that was the best possible scenario there. 4-0, holding Houston scoreless. Naptown now at 27, Houston at 64, and we've got under 5 minutes left in our first period. It's going to be Diamond taking on Slayer Moon.
So we've got sisters tag team in here. Slayer Moon punched her clock, I want to say 1 or 2 jams ago. So Diamond, though, look at that power in the front, really just grinding through that Houston defense and manages to take out Slayer Moon in the process. Beautiful footwork by Diamond, grabs lead jammer status and gets that follow-up there by Bustin' Beaver. And Slayer Moon with the eagle to the outside does manage to get through both jammers out on a scoring pass, but Diamond in control of the clock.
Yeah, both teams lost a blocker to the penalty box in that initial pass. 0 points. Looks like we've got Diamond Cutter taking the star for Houston up against 0-0. That's Roulette Wheels for the Tornado Sirens. Dance party on the dais.
Arrakis is joining on the bench. Oh, we're shaking the
Oh,
screens.
we can't
Oops.
shake anything. Sorry.
No more dance parties. All right, new jammers. We have number 00 roulette wheels again for Naptown. And
Yeah.
guess who's jamming?
That's Diamond Cutter, Sparkle Sparkle.
Slightly sparkly.
So we're just past the pivot line now. Diamond Cutter looks like lead jammer status going to the Houston All-Stars as Naptown loses another blocker to the penalty box.
It's Iggy and Palia, who has been a force of their defense.
So out on the initial pass as well. Roulette wheels coming around for points now. See if Diamond Cutter will get this thing called off. Yes, just in time. So holding Naptown scoreless. 4 points going up for Houston.
There was a whole lot of chaos happening right at turn 3, like kind of in the straightaway. I'm glad that you were talking about it because I had to do a double take and go, wait, what is happening?
What's happening?
What is happening here?
Lots of things.
All the things. All the things this early in the morning.
Right. So just about 40 points between the two teams right now. Did I math okay there?
You did.
I think I did.
You did. Yeah, well, 41 exactly, which don't count on my math
Yeah.
skills. But under 3 minutes left in the first half. Lulu Choppet facing off against the oh-so-familiar Scorpiopathic.
Lulu Choppet pushing at the front wall, getting some help from Arrakis, able to get lead jammer status for the Houston All-Stars. Whoa, big
Ooh.
takeout in the back of the pack on Scorpiopathic.
Slow to get up, but I think part of that was trying not to trip any blockers.
Yeah. Dealing with the Houston tripod in the back. Really effective defense, as we've mentioned a couple of times so far today.
Look how spread out those two defensive formations are, though. They're about 20, maybe 30 feet apart, and Naptown losing another blocker to the box. That is Teeth. And blazing through that pack. Nice offensive assist attempt there by Chariot of Fire. And
yeah, Naptown's defense closing down on Lulu Choppet as Scorpiopathic makes it out on the initial pass, coming around to put the pressure on here. It looks like Houston's going to let it run. Scorpiopathic tries to jump the inside line, doesn't quite make it.
oh, Lulu tried to call it off there, but she had the star in hand, so not allowed to call it off while the star has been removed. Still lead jammer, though, as it has not been passed.
So it came off in the course of
She's
play, I guess.
She's holding it in her hand,
Okay.
so
I'm not sure if I didn't see her take it off or if it just came off.
it's still in her hand right now, though. So
Oh, interesting.
interesting.
Because she is on a scoring pass, isn't she?
She had okay. They have removed the lead jammer status from the scoreboard, so looks like
So you got to have that star on to be picking up the points. Scorpiopathic, in the meantime, racing around through the chaos, picking up points for Naptown. Looks like now we've got the star pass for Houston. Arrakis with the star on the helmet.
manages to get through. That's a scoring pass. 4 points for Arrakis. Now we are 8 for Naptown, though.
Yeah.
That is a clock or not a clock management, but yeah, it is a clock management thing.
Yeah, and just having the star off for that long on a scoring pass.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Naptown taking full advantage, grabbing a total of 12 points on that jam. Houston comes away with 4.
It's like 6, I think, because 2 more picked up there at the second pass by Arrakis. So a little bit of a bummer for Houston there. They did have lead jammer at the start of the jam, but the star came off one way or the other there, and Naptown able to capitalize.
Yeah, they did. 12 points. That I believe that might be their highest scoring jam so
I think
far.
you're probably right.
74-39, 16 seconds left in the game, but we will start this next jam out here with some very familiar faces. That is Will Smith for Naptown.
Taking on Pocket Rocket for Houston. Will Smith already through lead jammer status for the Tornado Sirens.
Okay, real talk, I was looking at a different player for some reason and thought that Will Smith was still in the pack, so when you said she was out and lead, I was confused. But indeed she is. Pocket Rocket has not made it past, I don't think, a single blocker from Naptown yet.
Yeah, Naptown's been setting up the defense in the back, I've been noticing, and it's been very effective on the Houston Jammers so far in the game. They've really got the jammer isolated back there, and the Houston offense not able to kind of move backwards and help release a jammer from that back wall. That's been really effective. I mean, Houston is ahead on the scoreboard, but Naptown's been making some trouble in the back for sure.
Yeah, absolutely, locking it down on defense, and I believe that is halftime. So 74-39, I believe there was 1 point that was picked up, waiting to see if that gets added to the board. The rolling whistle has made it forward. So before we head into our halftime, we would love to thank The New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals. Size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available. Please see sociopath.ca for more details. That is Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH.ca. And of course, thank you to the Apex, the DerbyApex.com for sponsoring us today as well. And we will come back to you here in not very long with some more action. So don't go too far, folks. We've got going into the second half, 74-39, Houston in the lead. Scar Truck, any final thoughts?
We will get some penalty info for you and be back in a jiffy. Welcome back to Game 1 at the 2019 Lobster Roll. We are live from Shriners Auditorium in Wilmington, Massachusetts, here for the second period of our top 2 ranked teams coming into this tournament. We've got number 28 Naptown currently at 40 points, and number 32 Houston currently at 74 points. So a little bit of a points upset so far in the game, but it's we got a whole second period to play. Let me update you on our penalties from the first period. Naptown with 14 penalties total for the team. Houston with 7 penalties total for the team. So Naptown definitely a bit more aggressive starting out this game. We've got a couple of players on Naptown in a little bit of trouble. We've got 2 players with 3 penalties, 1 player with 2 penalties, and then about 5 players with 1 penalty. So definitely a big penalty total on the Tornado Sirens side. Houston, just 1 player in some trouble with 2 penalties. I think that's number 89 Arrakis with 2 that we commented on during play in the first period.
By the way, if you're just now joining us, I'm Scarlett O'Hurtia, and I am joined by the lovely Scar Truck. So you got Scar squared on the stream. And we are heading into the second half. Our first jammers out on the line are going to be Hallelujah
taking on Will Smith for Naptown. Big scores in the first period, both of these two. Looks like Will Smith battling a tripod of Houston defense in the back of the pack. Naptown with some really aggressive defense up in the front against Hallelujah. Both jammers.
We have a penalty called on it's a cutting the track penalty being called on Hallelujah. So power jam for Will Smith.
Able to make it around the outside. Lead jammer status now for Naptown on this power jam. Of course, we got about 34 points between the two teams. So Will Smith looking to close that up a little bit. Nice hit at the back of the pack there by number 215, Payo Dues. But Will Smith able to sneak around for 4 points on the power jam.
Very slow to start out here in the second half, trying to keep it nice and controlled, which seemed to work for both the teams actually in the first half. So Payo Dues now once again just finding Will Smith like heat-seeking missile.
Yeah, Will Smith puts 3 more points up, and I've noticed about Will Smith so far in the game that she's really willing to make it through the pack, get a knock out of bounds, and know the number of points she's already picked up, so go ahead and call the jam off, not kind of retry the pass over and over and over again. That's really good veteran clock management by the jammer, I'd say.
And we have a palindrome score, 74-47. Love when that happens.
That's always fun.
Always fun. Out on the jam line now for Houston, that is Slayer Moon facing off against number 237, Scorpiopathic.
Yeah, underway, Slayer Moon with a nice step through. Able to pick up lead jammer for the Houston All-Stars. Scorpiopathic with star in hand now, taking a knock out of bounds. Can't pass it while you're out of bounds,
but manages to hand it off.
It's out of play, it's the call, so Pivot's got to head back to the pack, and we got to redo that star pass.
Rewind. Oh, and it looks like she's just going to opt to keep it.
Just keep it. So able to make it out on the initial pass now. Another power jam for Naptown as Slayer Moon sitting in the penalty box. So a big opportunity here at the beginning of the second half for Naptown to close the score a little bit. Scorpiopathic coming around for points, and nice offensive help from the teammates, able to get Scorpiopathic through. 4 points going up for Naptown. Naptown doing a really good job of isolating a player at the back of the pack, keeping the defense split up for Houston.
Engine now getting trapped in the back as that lone Houston player makes it really easy work for Scorpio to get through.
Yeah, so already 2 points on the power jam as Hallelujah, or that's
Slayer Moon.
Thank you.
This is Big Sister, yeah.
As Slayer Moon comes in for the initial, no, that was a scoring pass for Slayer Moon in Houston. So 2 passes now for Naptown, 1 pass for Houston, and Naptown jammer in the pack getting some frantic yells from the bench to call this off. But I don't think anyone has lead jammer status in this jam. It's going to go the full 2 minutes.
You are correct. It looks like, yeah, Slayer was actually assessed lead jammer status before getting that penalty. So we're now even 8-all for both jammers as we head into the last 16 seconds of the jam. And Slayer Moon with that wide stance. One, she's low center of gravity to begin with, but then gets that very wide stance, leans forward with the torso, and manages to counteract those. That was such a pretty little hop around the outside.
So it's going to be 4 more points for Naptown and 4 points for Houston, sorry, 1 point for Naptown at the end of that jam. So 12-9 on the jam. Full 2 minutes there.
12-9 with Slayer Moon serving a 30-second penalty.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that whole runaway with the stats from last season, that's what you see with Slayer Moon for sure. But I see a double diamond out on the track.
Oh, wow. There's some jammer moves.
Whoop, 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 whoop,
Take
whoop.
note. So Diamond Cutter headed to the outside. Diamond for Naptown headed to the inside.
Look at that hopping. Diamond with the trying to juke and hop around. And I'm going to steal what Crimson Alchemy just said on the house call, that let's see which Diamond is going to outshine the other one.
Diamond Cutter's definitely outsparkling everyone today.
She outsparkles everyone every day. But in terms of outshining on performance, you know, the other Diamond for Naptown absolutely has a chance. But we have a star pass for Naptown.
Chariot of Fire taking the star for Diamond of Naptown. Looks like 3 points going up for Naptown, 2 points for Houston. So a little bit of a steal there for the Tornado Sirens.
Clock management. Pack awareness as well comes into play there. So we have a full complement of blockers for Houston. Naptown with one in the box. I believe that is Teeth. So Lulu Choppet going to start things off for Houston.
Taking on Will Smith for Naptown Tornado Sirens. Naptown in white, Houston in black.
Will Smith shoved to the infield, forced to recycle back behind the jam line. Jen with the follow-through hit there. Tag teaming with Kill Story and 2x-Force as Lulu Choppet manages to get past those defenders from Naptown in the front. I believe that was Iggy and Palia with that last line of defense there.
I'm curious to see Injun doing so much blocking in this game this morning. I know she was a very high-scoring jammer for Houston last season, but it seems like transitioning. Lots of players seem to be transitioning into blocker roles this year, which is fun to see.
There are 4 points on that pass for Lulu, who this is her first season with the All-Stars. And I think in order to be a good jammer, you also have to be able to be a good blocker in a lot of ways. So having some utility player capabilities is not a bad thing. Especially when you're working with a shifted roster. But as we mentioned, this is Houston's first sanctioned game of the year. They really haven't played a ton of sanctioned stuff since last year. So now we've got an initial pass made by Will Smith. Oh, attempted jump around Killstoy, but gets taken out on the straightaway.
Naptown losing a blocker to the penalty box.
And that is number 262, Langer, who I know, I've said that name a few times going to the box, so we might need to watch penalties on that one.
Yeah, Langer had 1 penalty coming into the second period, so definitely sitting at 2 now. It's like 4 points went up for Houston on that last jam, holding Naptown to only 4 points. So it was 8-4 on the jam in favor of Houston. 23 minutes left to play in the game. And we've still got about 30 points between the two teams. I feel like we've been sitting at about 30 points for a lot of this game.
It was that one runaway jam in the first half where Slayer Moon racked up double digits. I didn't catch what the total score was, but anyway.
Scorpiopathic with the star for the Tornado Sirens. Taking on Pocket Rocket for Houston. Pocket Rocket gets a nice clear along the outside line, but it's going to be Scorpiopathic picking up lead on the inside for Naptown. Pack comes to a stop in corner 2. Pocket Rocket still on the initial as Scorpiopathic coming in for points now.
Apex shenanigans. I don't know if people at home can hear the house call because we're right by a speaker, but look at this. We're off to the races, folks. We've got
both jammers are out, but it's Naptown who's actually picking up points. Pocket Rocket now coming in for the first scoring pass for Houston.
Beautiful step through on the inside lane there by Scorpiopathic.
Yeah, able to pick up all 4 and hold Houston scoreless on that first scoring pass.
No small feat.
Yeah,
no small feat.
A nice bit of timing.
And I misspoke earlier when I said there was that one jam that they ran away with. It was actually kind of a double team sister act, if you will. 12 points by Hallelujah in jam number 6, I believe, and then 12 points for Slayer Moon in jam number 16. That's really where we saw that big point spread happen. But right now, Diamond versus Hallelujah. Got Hallelujah shoved to the infield. Diamond trying to get past a really solid tripod.
And there's a cutting call. I believe that's Hallelujah. Yep, so this is now a power jam for Naptown. So now there's just about 15 points between the two, no, 25 points between the two teams, Math. So Diamond coming around looking to close the gap even more.
Look how spread out that pack is getting. Naptown really trying to spread things out, and Diamond dodging it, ducking off of a hit from 2x4s. That is no small feat. Diamond, powerful jammer. And Naptown going on the offensive, trying to provide some assistance there. Diamond just shrugging off hits left and right in that apex.
Looks like 2 more points going up for Naptown, so it's going to be a total of 6 on the power jam, holding Houston scoreless, of course. Houston's jammer starting in the penalty box, also Houston with a blocker in the penalty box, so a pretty big advantage here to start the next jam. And we've got a timeout for Houston.
This timeout brought to you by Cambridge School of Culinary Arts. Cambridge School of Culinary Arts is offering professional culinary and pastry training programs, recreational cooking classes for all, and private cooking or baking classes for family parties and corporate events. Visit cambridgeculinary.com for more information. I would love to partake in some of those classes as well.
I would love to be able to bake at all, ever. That would just be great.
I'm actually a solid baker.
You
like
are?
I'm gonna toot my own horn on that one. I'm a pretty solid baker. Tarts are my specialty.
Oh, that sounds lovely.
And I'm sure.
I have a Pop-Tart right here. It's not quite the same thing.
No, I'm talking like French tarts, like sweet crust. I love anything that I can put custard in. It's great. Or pastry cream.
It's a good chance, actually, since I mentioned the Pop-Tart. It's good to mention our hosts, Boston Roller Derby, of course, being most excellent with their hospitality table in the back. Got to thank them for, and of course our head announcer, Beautiful Banshee, doing a great job wrangling the voices for the weekend.
And a little bit of stats love for you as we get back to the action here, heading into jam number 7, number 76. Our current jammer, Will Smith
yep.
for Naptown is 6 of 9 for lead jammer status, so 66% on lead jammer status. And right as she gets through and grabs lead jammer status, Houston's blocker and jammer released from the penalty box.
Yeah, hallelujah. Through the defense, but kind of gets, oh, wow. Okay, so Will Smith, big old apex attempt there, but had to kind of crawl back out of bounds. I think the toe stop might have touched on
Better
the inside
safe than
line.
sorry.
Yeah,
Better safe than sorry.
Don't want to give up that power jam. So now fighting again at the front on Houston's defensive wall.
Full complement of blockers for both teams, and Houston with that solid tripod and the floating defense as well. Naptown trying to send in Micah for an offensive assist, and Will Smith spins around the outside. I couldn't quite see if that was totally in bounds, but the refs will for sure let us know. Forearm penalty called on Payo Dews.
Yeah, there was a big hit up at the front of the pack on Will Smith. Will Smith finally able to make it through on that scoring pass. It's going to be 4 points for Naptown, and the first result on that power start that Will Smith had at the start of this jam.
And we also have a star pass. Bustin Beaver, the previous pivot for Houston, taking over as the point scorer for the team in black.
Houston's 2 stalwart defensive players sitting in the penalty box right now as Will Smith comes around for now the 3rd scoring pass.
Oh my goodness.
It's definitely a big loss on the defensive line for Houston.
And I believe this is going to be Naptown's highest scoring jam of the game so far.
Yeah, already 12 points on this power start for Naptown, even though we've had a successful star pass in the pack for Houston.
But it seems like Beaver is actually kind of defaulting to defense right now. I wonder if she remembers she's got the star on her helmet. I've done that before, so I mean.
That pivot life is hard.
Pivot life. Hashtag pivot life on the Derby Twitter.
All right. Beaver is out now on the initial pass for Houston.
And Ruby Ridicule heading to the penalty box. So Naptown with the 4-3 pack advantage. Just kidding. They sent one of their own to the box as well. So we're going to have a 3-all pack start.
So 15-0 on the power jam for Naptown. That brings us to a 4-point game, Scarlett.
And that is the highest scoring jam of the game so far. Naptown coming back strong here in the second half. We still have 18 minutes left in the game, though, Scar Trek. It is still anybody's game, and especially with these two jammers out on the track. We've got Slayer Moon facing off against Scorpio Papik.
That's right. I like to see a nice, close, even game, though. It's like we're starting over.
Yes! Oh, and looks like Slayer going to grab lead jammer status on that jam, and the star has been removed from Scorpio's helmet.
Scorpio takes a knock to the inside line, has to kind of restart this initial pass for Naptown. as Slayer Moon is in for points now. Takes a knock to the outside line, comes back in behind number 16.
That is Crash Into You, who we've seen accept a number of star passes thus far for Naptown. Slayer grabs 4 points on that pass as the star is still in hand for Scorpio, getting swallowed up in that tripod of Houston blockers. 2x4s being sent to the penalty box as Killstoy and Engine trying to anchor that defense in the front. Now an assist by Wham Bam.
Scorpiopathic knocked out of bounds once again by number 44. That's Killstoy.
Killstoy, one of the fiercest blockers that is on Houston's roster. And there you see Slayer with the fancy footwork and the Gumbiness.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of Gumby action there.
When there's that star pass we talk about, Crash Into You taking once again star pass for Naptown. I want to say that's at least the third.
Third or fourth, yeah.
Beautiful attempt at a jammer takeout there, but nice counter by Crash Into You.
So we've already got 4 points on the board for Houston.
Hitting that century mark, 100-92. And Crash now on a scoring pass.
4 more points for Houston, bringing their total up to 8 on the jam so far.
And 4 for Naptown. So 4-8 on that last jam. Still a super close game, 104-96. 16.5 minutes left in the game. And we've got another double diamond.
I think they're doing this on purpose.
Right?
I love it.
Twitch stream / Derby Twitter. Give me more jokes to make about a double diamond situation, because I haven't had enough tea yet today.
It's our bling bling jam.
Bling bling. Shiniest jam lineup ever. What is Gumbiness? Gumbiness is a reference to how flexible Slayer Moon often is. She's a former dancer, so she contorts in really weird ways, and it doesn't hurt her. To answer the question on Twitch, but answering the question of who is lead jammer, that goes to Diamond, just Diamond.
From Naptown.
As Diamond Cutter has removed the star from helmet in the straightaway. And Diamond
takes a hit at the front of the pack and feels like she might have been out of bounds, but she wasn't, so she's not sure whether she needs to go out of bounds or not, but she doesn't.
And we have a star pass for Houston. Arrakis taking over as the jammer of record for Houston, as Diamond goes backward into the pack and calls it off before Arrakis can hit the pack, but Arrakis takes herself out thanks to a sniper at the corner. 2 more points for Naptown on that jam. Total of 6. We have a 2-point game, Scartrack.
I love it.
104-102. Heading into jam number 10 of the second half. We have 15 minutes left in the game. Woo! This is what Derby Dreams are made of.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty slow, controlled game, but very competitive. Lots of big hits in the pack. Out to jam next, we've got number 221, Lulu Chop It for Houston, taking on number 76, Will Smith for Naptown Tornado Sirens.
Pretty familiar face-off that we've seen. Empty penalty box, except now that I've said something, someone will go. And your lead jammer is Lulu Chop It from Houston.
Will Smith taking the star off the helmet. Still looking for that initial pass for the Tornado Sirens. Lulu Chop It coming in for points now on the scoring pass. Takes a big hit from number 262. That's Langer.
And we have a blocker in the penalty box for Naptown. That is Emily Udell.
Will Smith just getting hung up there on
2x4s.
2x4s, the captain for the Houston All-Stars.
2x4s, one of those players that plays more than anybody else because that endurance is solid. And once again, a star pass from Naptown to Crash Into You.
Mm-hmm. Really effective pivot for the Tornado Sirens, and always ready for that star pass, which is the quality that you really want in a pivot.
Insert SpongeBob I'm ready gif here. 108-102, 6 points separating these two teams thanks to a 4-point pass right there for Houston. And we've got Packet Racket going to be taking.
Is that your Boston accent?
No, that's how it is on the announcement and on the game. See, PAH. Packet Racket.
Okay.
I promise I didn't do that to be offensive. Packet Racket facing off against Scorpiopathic.
Yeah, that's right. This is a matchup that's been pretty familiar as well so far in the game. One coming back in from the box from Naptown. Both jammers stuck at the pivot line on big defensive walls.
Ooh, what a smushy pack. Very scrummy, if you will. And we're in turn 1 after Scorpio getting shoved out of bounds. Pivot for Naptown heading to the penalty box. That is Chariotto Fire.
So Houston Jammer pushing at the front wall, just 2 to beat up there, but they're doing a great job. That's Micah and number 312, Emily Udell.
And Pocket Rocket manages to get through for lead jammer status, and it's going to be a power jam for Pocket Rocket. And the pack is trying to speed up just a smidgen.
Yeah, and with a one blocker in the box for Naptown, they've got a little advantage out there. As right as I say that, the pivot for Houston takes a seat. But it's still 3-on-3 out there in the pack. A nice knock to the inside bounce, slowing Pocket Rocket down. Naptown, great at making that catch, but Pocket Rocket.
Beautiful edging on the inside there by Pocket Rocket, manages to stay upright and grab 4 points as Naptown still now has a full complement of blockers, full pack on the track. Houston still down with their pivot in the box.
Pocket Rocket looks for the outside line.
And oh no, Scorpio drops the star, has to go back, and the tables have turned. We now have a power jam for Naptown as Scorpio being sent to the penalty box.
We got about 20 seconds left in the jam. Houston already with 8 points from the original power jam.
10 seconds. Let's see how much damage Scorpio can do in that time. Just ping-ponging, bouncing right off of Peyodu's.
Yeah, Peyodu's such an impressive defensive player out there. 3 points go up for Naptown, so an 8-3 jam, and looks like we've got about 10 points, 11 points between the two teams right now. So keeping it close here in the second period. Diamond with the star for Naptown on the power start.
And the dancing. Diamond, dance and Diamond. We have a timeout called by Naptown, and Diamond doesn't care. She just keeps on dancing on that jam line.
And of course, this is the first WFTDA recognized tournament of the year, I do believe. But we have so many tournaments coming up this season. So let me mention a couple of them. Of course, Lobster Roll coming at you live from Wilmington, Massachusetts this weekend. Then we've got later in March, we've got the Clover Cup from Dallas. We've got Dust Devil from Arizona coming up later in March as well. And then once we're into April, we have Euro Cup, Siege of Central New York, Skate to Thrill, West Track Story, Coastal Chaos, Southern Discomfort, K-Town Shakedown. That's all in April, Scarlett. That's crazy.
Oh, that's a busy month.
Of course, then the Big O, Flat Track Fever, Paris is Burning, Midwest Brouhaha. So many amazing tournaments coming up this season.
And I bet people could find this full list at WFTDA.com/events, couldn't they?
That's the whole list.
That's where you can find us. And you know, we had someone mention in the Twitch stream, if you're watching in some other capacity, that if you have Amazon Prime, I think it was Party on Barth, mentioned if you have Amazon Prime, you get a free subscription. So use it. There's all those little extras that come along with Prime. And we are getting back to the action on the track, heading into jam number 12 after a team timeout by Naptown, 116-105. Houston in the black, Naptown in the white. 11 minutes left in the game. Scar, who's jamming?
That's Diamond on the power start for Naptown. And everyone was lined up at the pivot line for that start. So quickly moving into turn 2. But Houston locking down the defense. Pocket Rocket coming out of the box now, and quite the pileup happening.
Diamond with a bit of a baseball slide, which I haven't seen in a while. But hey, sometimes those old school fundamentals,
yeah.
they still help. Diamond with an interesting strategy, trying to approach that pack going backwards, fully on the toe stops. That tripod of Houston blockers, Jekyll and Heidi, N-Gen, and 2x4, really locking down Diamond as Pocket Rocket comes back into play. Killstoy now going on the offensive. And Jekyll and Heidi, last line of defense, tries to stop Diamond, but she's just far too sharp.
50 seconds into the jam, Diamond gets lead jammer status. Coming around on the scoring pass now as Pocket Rocket still fighting for that initial pass for Houston. Diamond meets up with a really tough front wall of Houston's defense. Getting some help now from a teammate.
Nice offensive assist there by Iggy Impalia, who has been a solid defender today, but nice offensive assist as well. Jekyll and Heidi with that defensive takeout on number 312, Emily Udell.
That was such a grind, that jam. One more point goes up for Naptown as the jam gets called off.
One point.
Yeah,
that's
a lot of work.
That is the hardest earned point, I think, of the game thus far. Both of the jammers came out of that one looking a wee bit winded.
Mm-hmm.
And here's Holly Loya. Squatting down nice and low, so we can't even see her number. Going up against, once again, Will Smith.
Naptown with that dreaded defense in the back to deal with Hallelujah.
Tornado defense.
Will Smith pushing at the front wall with some help from one offensive player up there. Hallelujah making some progress, pushing Naptown's defense up to the front of the pack now. Stretching the pack out a little bit, but takes a fall to the inside line as Will Smith picking up lead jammer status for Naptown.
Will Smith, of course, Naptown's #1 point scorer last season with a total of 623 points. Houston losing their pivot Bustin' Beaver to the penalty box.
4 points now for Will Smith. Hallelujah still working on the initial pass, able to sneak around, complete that initial pass, and going to put some pressure on in this jam. Will Smith makes it through. It's going to be 8 points on the jam, holding Houston scoreless.
Timeout called by Houston. So we have a 2-point game. Oh my goodness, once again, so close. 116 to 114. Houston in the lead, but ever so slightly.
Yeah, I feel like the first period we were holding pretty steady, around 30 points between the two teams. Houston really dominating the first period in a couple of different ways. But now, since we've gotten to the kind of fourth quarter of the game, let's call it, very close and competitive between the two teams.
And we would love to thank Brews Boutique, the world's largest Derby store for Derby by Derby. Visit them at www.brewsboutique.com. Or if you're here in person at Lobster Roll later on today, come see us live in the lobby, or their brick and mortar location in Nashua, New Hampshire. And why be flat when you can sparkle? Refreshingly natural polar seltzer has no calories, no sodium, no sugar, no sweeteners, and no gluten. #Polar Derby.
Oh my God.
And if you would like to interact with us with some other hashtags, of course, I'm checking the Derby Twitter, #Derby Twitter, but we'd love to hear from you at #BRD, Lobster with an AH, Lobstah Roll. Or #Boston Derby. But now out on the jam line, we have #Arrakis facing off against
Scorpiopathic for Naptown.
#Scorpiopathic. I'm just kidding. Don't hashtag that. That was a
Scorpios through for lead for Naptown.
Uh-oh, we might see the tables turn here.
Yeah, this could be our first lead change. Scorpio finding
some resistance right there from Jacqueline Heidi.
Finding a line, but no, finding a blocker on the outside line.
And Arrakis now on that scoring pass as well. We've got whistles being blown. I'm not sure who. Oh, that's going to be close.
Yeah, so holding Houston scoreless there. It looks like 3 points go up for Naptown.
And
so that is a lead change. Yep.
117 to 116. 7.5 minutes left in the game. This is the first lead jam for Naptown. First time that they're leading in score since Jam 14.
And of course, Naptown is ranked higher at this point. Naptown ranked number 28 in the WFTDA, Houston number 32.
Not that it matters at this point, but you know, because right now we have very evenly matched jammers. Diamond, however, being a little too aggressive on that inside lane, gets a cutting the track penalty, and now we have a power jam for Slayer Moon. We could see the tables turn right here. Slayer Moon has a couple of double-digit jams under her belt so far.
Yep. Some amazing defense from Naptown right now on this power jam for Slayer Moon. Notable out there is the pivot. I cannot see her number. Oh, 07. That's Chariot of Fire doing amazing work.
Ooh, Chariot of Fire takes a hard hit from Payo Dews right there in the straightaway. Slayer Moon shucking and jiving, trying to get around each of those Naptown blockers. Beautiful job with the recycle and the regrouping. Nice waterfall in the front by Naptown.
Diamond, killed that power jam, right? Diamond's back out. Coming around, and I think on initial pass. This will be the initial pass for Naptown.
It's also still the initial pass for Houston.
Yep.
Slayer has not been declared lead jammer yet, has not broken through thanks to that last hit in the straightaway. And it looks like Slayer going to get through on that initial pass if they can hold him back.
Yep, there we go. Lead jammer called, so immediately calling the jam off. And it looks like Diamond able to pick up 3 points for Naptown there.
Beautiful defense by Naptown on that one. A very effective penalty kill. Nicely done by Naptown, and Diamond with a big smile on her face coming off the track. 120 to 116. 4 points separating these two teams as we have less than 6 minutes left in the game.
We've got
this exciting.
I know, it's good. Definitely it was kind of a slow and controlled first period, but so close and competitive here in the second half. We've got Will Smith with the star for Naptown, Lulu Choppett with the star for Houston. Naptown with that defense in the back again, making trouble for Lulu Choppett.
Now heading into this game, Lulu Choppett 5 for 6 on lead jammer status. So both jammers having to contend with some pretty solid defense, both being shoved out of bounds in the straightaway right before turn 1. Lulu getting a running start, but getting tied up.
Yeah, that was Will Smith that was down on her knees, kind of tripped up Lulu Choppett, but no calls that I can see at this point on anyone.
2x4 and Engine doing some work, holding back Will Smith in the front, but does manage to get through. Will Smith, your lead jammer for Naptown, as Lulu Choppett now through the pack and eligible to score points. And we have, I believe that's Iggy Impalia heading to the box for Naptown. So jam is called right as Lulu hit that pack. Naptown comes out with 1, and now we're back to what we saw at the very beginning.
Yeah, exactly. Will Smith always so good with the timing of the call-offs for Naptown. Even if it's just a point or 3 points, gets knocked out of bounds, kind of just gets the jam called off in the nick of time. Protecting any points getting scored from Houston.
Looks like we have an official review out on the track, so we're going to need to get our lovely producer to go see our alternate ref so that we can figure out what's going on out on the track.
Yeah, and as I mentioned earlier, both of these teams are going to play again today. So Houston playing at 2 p.m. against Dublin Roller Derby, and then Naptown playing at 5 p.m. against Sacramento. So that 5 p.m. game between Naptown and Sacramento, that's our top-ranked team here for the weekend versus our lowest-ranked team here over the weekend. So we'll see how that turns out. I know Sacramento, a very, very tough and up-and-coming team.
But even though we say it's not that big of a difference,
no, it's really not.
All of the teams at this tournament are really closely ranked. This official review called by Naptown. And the house announcers are having a snack whilst on the microphone. So we would love to also give a shout out to our sponsors for the weekend, including the Derby Apex. Our first day of Lobster Roll 2019 is brought to you by the Derby Apex, training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, and so much more. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. Follow them on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and bookmark thederbyapex.com to stay up to date with the latest news from #Derby Twitter and the Derby community. And for our stream, the New England Roller Derby Report would like to thank their production sponsor, Sociopath. Sociopath, a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals, size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so please see sociopath.ca, that is SEWCIOPATH.ca, for more details. And, of course, we'd love to thank our hosts for the weekend, the Boston Roller Derby, putting on a great show here. And we are trying to find out what the official review was about. We will let you guys know as soon as we have an answer.
Yeah, I saw. Okay, so we're hearing the house announcers talk about what the review was. There was a charging call, or maybe perhaps a request for a charging call, and that was what I commented on, how Will Smith had fallen to her knees right as the Houston jammer kind of charged up the line and kind of ran over her. So I think there was a request for a charging call. It looks like the no call stands.
Correct.
So back underway here, that's Scorpiopathic pushing at the back wall for Naptown, taking on, I think that's Pocket Rocket for Houston?
I believe you're correct.
Okay. And it's Scorpiopathic with lead for Naptown, as Pocket Rocket still stuck on the initial pass right now. 1 to beat, makes it through, out and eligible to score for Houston, as Scorpiopathic finds a nice inside line there, but shut down by Arrakis.
Arrakis found a nice path to Scorpiopathic's hip and took her to the inside line.
Yeah, so 3 points, holding Houston scoreless there. Tornado Sirens opening up that lead just ever so slightly more here in the second period as the clock winds down. We've got under 4 minutes left to play, Scarlett.
I gotta say, I love how Diamond is dancing every time she goes up to the line. That's a nice morning dance routine.
Yeah, and it's not just when they're ahead on the scoreboard either. It was equal opportunity,
All the
just
time.
dancing.
I think the dance has changed slightly. It used to be- was noodly arms. But now we've got Diamond facing off against Hallelujah, who is facing some very strong Naptown defense in the back of the pack. Hallelujah on the inside, on the outside lane, manages to grab lead jammer status. This is the first time in a few jams that Houston has had lead.
Oh, no, it's a forearm call for Hallelujah.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she looked like she was out and in the clear there, but forearm was the call, so now it's a power jam for Diamond and the Naptown Tornado Sirens. Naptown playing some great offense for Diamond, making a path through the back of the pack there.
Now Houston trying to go on the defensive completely, but Naptown speeding that pack up. Oh, pile up in the turn. Ooh. Looked like a 2x4 and engine both went down on that one. No lead jammer.
So initial
Full 2-minute jam, and we only have 2.5 minutes left on the
yeah,
period clock.
a nice power jam kill there. Just 4 points, the pickup on the power jam for Naptown. Hallelujah coming back in. I think this will be an initial pass.
I'm not clear because I thought she was called lead and then was sucked back in to where she got the forearm, so we'll see.
We'll see.
But it looks like Diamond manages to get 4 more. That's 8 so far. Holly forced to recycle back to turn 3 by Iggy and Palia. Diamond communicating with her pack and looking like she wants to call it off, but she's not lead jammer.
So both jammers in the pack right now. Diamond pushing at the front. Looks like she's slowed down. This whole idea of jamming.
Holly finding some space on the inside lane, manages to get through.
Yep, Holly's through on a scoring pass for Houston, right? Score? No.
Looks
that
like they
was
made
initial.
her redo the initial, yeah.
Okay.
So not a scoring pass. 10 seconds left on the clock. See if Holly can get any points on the board. Diamond goes around the outside.
That was interesting. There was, yeah, it looked like it could have been a cut there, but yeah, there's an official review being called by Houston. It looked like it to me. I don't know if it looked like it to you as well.
Yeah, to me it did. Now, granted, I will qualify that by saying we are not referees. We are not right there where the action happens. So even though it looks like it to us or to people on the screen, we can never know 100%.
But you know, there's a good clue when the officials themselves look like, wait a minute.
I saw one of the refs on the sideline touch his hips and look very quizzical, like, was that? So who knows?
Yeah, so we're going to discuss it in the middle and let you know what the result of that no call at this point is.
One of the things about where our broadcast station is located, it's right behind the team benches. So right now we get to watch Diamond, who worked her tail off in that last jam, is currently visiting the trash can. Let's avert our eyes. The things we get to see and hear. So instead of looking over there, I'm going to look at the new announcement that WFTDA just made this week about postseason.
Oh.
First time ever, we're going to have WFTDA International Championships outside of the U.S. Going to be in Montreal, Quebec, Canada, November 15th through 17th. But before that, we've got the Continental Cup in Orem, Utah, Continental Cup in Lancaster, Pennsylvania. The playoffs going to be in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, and Seattle, Washington. And then the European Continental Cup in Helsinki, Finland, leading up to Quebec for the International Championships in November. So postseason, of course, starting in August. And then we move forward from there. You can get all the information at WFTDA.com.
Yeah, and I know you're a veteran of the postseason as an announcer. Are you hoping to make it to Montreal this year?
I am. Whether or not I have the honor of doing anything with announcer things. I have a friend that moved up there recently who, oddly enough, when Champs was in Philly, I stayed with him, and then now he moved up to Quebec. And
Champs is following him?
Yeah, they're following him wherever he goes. So now I'm going to, So I'm going to go stay with my Canadian friends.
Yeah, it's probably been 15 or 20 years for me since I've been to Montreal, but it's such a beautiful city and such a neat place to visit. Especially everyone on the East Coast, it's very accessible and just a lovely drive, especially if you drive straight up through New York. Beautiful drive. And it looks like we have some information on our official review?
So Houston won the official review. They questioned the lack of a cutting the track call, and
so did the officials.
And
we all kind of saw that one.
And the Houston bench is right by the turn where it happened, so they had a very clear view, but they won their review. So we're going to start this next one with Diamond in the penalty box.
Yeah, and we've just got a minute and a half left on the period clock, Scarlett, so this could very well be one of our last couple of jams.
Makes me nervous because we have all of 19 points separating these two teams. Oh, goodness.
Slayer Moon taking the start for Houston on the power start.
And, of course, full complement of blockers for both teams.
Houston doing some nice work on offense, isolating a player in the back.
Houston has been held scoreless for the last 7 jams. So if Slayer can get points on the board, this is still doable. Minute 38 left on the jam clock. Slayer Moon, lead jammer on a power jam.
Diamond is standing in the penalty box, about to re-enter play.
And a hush has kind of fallen over the venue right now. Slayer Moon with that eagle to the outside gets shoved out of bounds, but the blocker that took her out also went out, so she comes right back in, has to contend with that tripod of Naptown blockers, gets an offensive assist by Arrakis. Nice work there by Chariot of Fire.
Yeah, such a strong defensive player. That pivot for Naptown.
And Trudy Botchery up there as a blocker. 4 points for Slayer as Diamond now back into the fray.
Yeah, it's cutting the lead to 15 points here. And both jammers back in the pack. Chariot of Fire picking up the star from Diamond right now. Oh, no! Cutting the track penalty for Houston's jammer. So now we've got a power jam for Chariot of Fire and the Naptown Tornado Sirens.
And the period clock has officially expired, so
but no one's calling it off. We're going the full 2 minutes here. See what Chariot of Fire can put on the board as the second tick down here on this first game of Lobster Roll 2019.
Look how spread out that pack is getting here. Looks like Arrakis heading to the box along with Micah.
Payo Du's doing great work at the front of the pack, but Chariot of Fire makes it out, and that is an initial pass for Naptown.
Got to ride it out for 5 seconds, and it looks like Naptown gonna take the win right as Slayer Moon exits that pack. So
wow.
Naptown came in ranked ever so slightly higher than Houston. But Houston, valiant effort, holding down the lead for the majority of the game up until the last, I think, 5 minutes. And
Chariot of Fire just came back into the team huddle there and said, "We won!" Looking kind of surprised. So.
Oh my God, guys, we did it!
So congratulations to the Naptown Tornado Sirens. We are going to have some interviews with the 2 MVPs from both teams, so stick around for that.
We're going to find out who our MVPs are, and then we're going to ask them some questions. So if you've got any burning questions that you would like us to ask the MVPs this weekend, by all means, share them with us on the Twitch stream.
Yeah, and just to re-thank once again our tournament's broadcast sponsor for today, the Derby Apex. Brought to you, day 1 of Lobster Roll is brought to you by the Derby Apex, featuring training tips, league resources, scores, analysis, and everything else under the sun. The Apex is your one-stop roller derby media source. You can follow them on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, and be sure to bookmark thederbyapex.com so you stay up to date with the latest from Derby Twitter and from all of the Derby community.
All the derbies. And of course, we would love to thank Sociopath.ca, the New England Roller Derby Report's production sponsor. Sociopath is a skater-run business offering custom sewn-to-order legwear for teams and individuals, size-inclusive activewear designed to fit you. Sociopath also offers dozens of armband and helmet cover options for scrimmage and competition. Team discounts are available, so please see sociopath.ca for more details. That is Sociopath, SEWCIOPATH.ca. And we're going to here pretty soon go into our interview with the MVPs of the game. And we're going to take a brief break as well a little bit after that before the next game, which is Boston versus Sacramento, going to be at noon Eastern time. So thank you all for joining us.
welcome. I'm joined by our MVP blocker from the Naptown Tornado Sirens, Dora the Destroyer.
It's Chariot of Fire.
I'm sorry. I heard the wrong MVP. Sorry about that. So I want to ask you about having taken some time off and coming back to play the season this year. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I had a baby in August, our second daughter. They're watching, so hi Gwen and Libby. So it was awesome to play against, a tough competitive team. Yeah, we had a good comeback there.
So about halfway through the second period, there was a lead change. Naptown took the lead, maintained control during the rest of the game. What's the thought process on the bench when something like that happens?
We just realized that, we're here to have fun, and we play the best when we're relaxed. And we just realized, you know what, it's our tournament, we're here with our team, and we don't want to be upset, and we don't want to be upset about playing roller derby. So we just relaxed a little bit and adjusted to what the other team was doing and came out a little stronger, a little more aggressive. Yeah, Sacramento was tough.
Yeah. Was tough. All right, well, congratulations. Great job today for Naptown Tornado Sirens, and we got an MVP award for you. Coming up next, our MVP interview with Houston's, looks like Hallelujah, coming up next.
Hey everybody, I'm here with the MVP from the last game from Houston. This is Hallelujah, who had a stellar game jamming, and Houston coming to a loss kind of late in the game, held down the lead for the majority, and then just right there at the end, Naptown locked it down on that defense. So let me ask you a little bit about, so Houston, we're seeing a slightly different team than we've had in the past, slightly different jammer rotation. What's it been like working with the new adjusted roster?
It's been fun seeing people come up. We've been working really hard, new people coming in every day and just working and giving it their all, and we're putting those people that show that effort and really giving their 100%. So it's fun for the team.
Is this your first time to get MVP in a tournament? Yes, okay. And we know your big sister Slayer Moon is on the team as well. So I wonder if do you ever feel like you're in a sister shadow?
No, I think there's a lot of learning from her that I get, and it's fun, but I'm also got my own style. A lot of Holly comes out.
Yeah, that's very true. A lot of Holly comes out. So last thing I'm going to ask you real quick. So Houston came in rather late on a delayed flight last night and got to our hotel at 2:30 in the morning. So not only did you have to contend with a time difference and a switchover, but did you feel affected at all by the fact that y'all got in so late and had the first game of the day?
It was a little tough. We definitely got ready and adjusted for it. Lots of naps, lots of snacks along the way. It was hard, but we all got up nice and early and did what we needed to do. I think it came out strong.
So are you what were you looking forward to with Dublin?
Oh man, all the fun times, all the hard hits, just getting pumped for it, everything. I'm excited.
Awesome. Well, thank you for joining us here. I've got Hallelujah here, and we are going to be back to you in not too long with our second game of the day here at Lobstah Roll 2019, brought to you by Boston Roller Derby.